All right, guys, the Leafs, they're trading. They're making a big move. What that move is, I have no idea. The Leafs have been on a great streak as of late. They lost their last game to Vegas, but I think they're what 8-2-0 their last 10. I have it up here.
Yep.
Yeah, they are 8-2 in their last 10. They're rolling. They changed the lines. Tavares is now a third line center. Bertuzzi's scoring now. Everything's looking good in the Leafs land for the most part. Morgan Riley hasn't looked amazing since he came back from his suspension, I'd say. But Joseph Woll is back tonight. Looks like he's starting tonight against Arizona. But
and they're keeping all three goalies, by the way.
Yeah, Noah Gregor. Time to learn how to speak Marlies, buddy. Let's you'll enjoy that. And look out everyone's going so well. Austin Matthews over 50 goals. Mitch Marner was just a star of the week. Nylander's been scoring again. Samsonov came back and has been amazing. But Darius, do the Leafs still need a big, huge addition, even though the new lines have looked so good?
I don't think they can anymore. I don't think that is the move anymore. I think they have to acquire a right shot defenseman. It doesn't have to be somebody who even plays in the NHL. Could be my uncle. Could be anybody. They need to shoot right because they, for the second straight game.
Matt.
Yeah. No, Matt's left shot. Matt, you're left shot.
I am. I'm a left shot.
We do not want Matt.
I'm also a left shot. Darius, where are you?
Left shot.
Oh, we're cooked.
Yeah.
Three of us on the same line.
For the second straight game, the Leafs are playing an entirely left shot defense core, which is not it. So they need to acquire a right shot defenseman, no matter who it is. There's a couple options. Adam Larson, ? Andrew Peak from Columbus Blue Jackets, ? Could be a couple guys, who knows?
Right shot, you say?
Not Christian.
Right, not number 5 on the Edmonton Oilers.
Damn it.
Do not mention that guy's name. He will not. Not a chance.
Phil Broberg shoot right?
Shoots left.
Yeah, he does shoot left.
Yeah.
You're cooked.
So, yeah, you're keeping him. So the Leafs need to acquire a right shot defenseman. Could be
with what draft capital, Darius? What do you have to trade? What do you throw on your table?
Nick Robertson.
Damn, you said that so quick.
You're trading Nick Robertson?
For who in this hypothetical situation?
Cale Makar.
Okay, come on. Come on. Okay. No, the Leafs need a right shot defenseman, and I don't think they can go after a big fish anymore at this point. I think you just wait till free agency, because it would be silly. I think you hold on to your first round pick this time around. Maybe don't fire that into the sun.
You know what, guys? I was thinking about this. I was pondering. I had some might say a vision. Some might say a vision. There's a deal to be made with the Washington Capitals, with the Leafs.
Can I guess who you're gonna say here?
There's a deal. Hold on, let me just make sure I have it right.
Okay.
There's a deal to be made with the Washington Capitals, and there's 2 players who I would enjoy from the Washington Capitals as Toronto Maple Leafs. One player was linked to the Leafs a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's not having a crazy season, but he shoots right. The Washington Capitals actually have a couple guys who shoot right, who could be a valuable.
But he wants Ovi.
I don't know about Ovechkin.
Wait a minute. You said shoots right?
Yep.
Sold. Get him.
The Washington Capitals aren't that good, and they have 3 right-handed defensemen who I believe are expendable. These 3 are Nick Jensen, who is 33 years old, but he's signed for $4 million through 2025. Maybe stay away from that. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, who is 32 years old, right-handed, signed for 2 more years after this one at $3 million. That's not bad.
That's doable.
Can I guess the last defenseman?
Sure, Matt.
Is it Ethan Bear?
It is Ethan Bear.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of season he's having. He's been good in the past. I know it's been tough for him. He didn't play that long. Washington's not that good. Right-handed, signed for 2 years at $2 million. But there is a couple forwards maybe on Washington who I'm also interested that could be good wing depth for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And do you guys have any guesses of who these 2 players potentially could be?
I have
now,
one.
Darius,
Yeah.
I know you did a Leafs Digest video. Anthony Mantha.
Yeah,
is he one of those?
That would be
Anthony
one.
Mantha.
Yeah.
Anthony Mantha. I want on the Toronto Maple Leafs so desperately. He's having a good season. He signed a $5.7 million rental, full rental, rental him. I don't care. He's had a great season, although he is shooting 20%, which is way higher than anything he's ever done. But he's playing great, driving play. Been one of the better players on Washington. Another player I was interested in, Max Pacioretty, actually. He's making $2 million, full no move clause, but I don't even know if he would welcome a trade to Toronto after playing in Montreal for so long. Players are weird like that. You're telling me you won't take Max Pacioretty as a depth option with his pedigree? I don't know.
Now, here's what I think. Here's what I think, because like Matt mentioned, made a video on it. I'm a little bit on the Mantha train already. Here's what I think you do. And I'm not sure of what the return is because I haven't heard anything about Washington and Toronto so far. But here's what I think you do because of the cost. Purely rental, you acquire Anthony Mantha. This guy will be fantastic for you in the playoffs, all right, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then you acquire, very cost-effective, Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Also, a lot of fans can dust off the Van Riemsdyk jerseys. Fantastic, all right?
Hopefully he wears like 21 or 25.
He won't, but whatever. Take it from Connor Timmins. Anyway, get him because he signed
Connor Timmins goes to Washington in this trade, probably.
probably, yeah. Yeah, good point. So TVR comes back, and you get him a cost-effective option at, what, $3 million you said? And he signed for another year. So now you're not playing with UFAs like Dubas liked to play with his UFA toys. So you get another guy signed for another year. I think that is the option because, like I said, they need a guy who can play at the NHL level who shoots right. It doesn't have to be a superstar defenseman. They need an NHL defenseman who shoots right. And Trevor Van Riemsdyk is one of those guys. And like I said, cost-effective option, and you can bring Mantha in at the same time. I think that would be great for the Leafs.
That third line with Mantha, Tavares, and Yarncroke is looking pretty good.
Now, I know we're on the Leafs, but talking about the Capitals, there was a name mentioned with several teams, Edmonton being one of them. And I don't think he'd be much of a needle mover, and that would be Nick Dowd.
I was going to bring him up. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Edmonton's looking at Nick Dowd like he's not much better than what we already have right now.
I think he's a solid depth option though.
He's a depth option, but he's not like the big fish that I've seen a bunch of people go after. Like a big fish for me would be someone like, I don't know, Jake Gensel. Like that's a big fish. Nick Dowd.
I don't think Jake Gensel gets moved.
Yeah, in a perfect world, in the land of make believe, Nick, I'm gonna join you there. Like that's a big fish, but Nick Dowd, like looking at the numbers here, yeah, he's not as strong as I originally thought he was.
Are you on G-Fresh or what, Matt?
Right now I'm looking at Zach Lang's Twitter account, big Oilers guy, huge numbers guy too, and Nick Dowd, no,
I like Nick
again,
Dowd, honestly.
No, do you?
Yeah, it's a good depth option. He's solid defensively. He's one of those prototypical not doing a whole lot offensively, but it's very strong defensively. He looks solid on Evolving Wilds things. I don't have a J prescription. I don't hate Nick Dowd. Like if the Leafs were to pull off a deal where it's like you get Nick Dowd, you get a TVR, and you get Anthony Mantha all in the same trade. I don't think Tree Lemon is gonna make any big trades, but Darius, I think that's something they could do. Like just bring in all the depth you can. Because if you're gonna try and go for a deep playoff run, I don't know how Nick Dowd is in terms of like the physicality he brings. He's on the injured reserve right now too, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that. Mm-hmm. He makes. You know why Nick Dowd is going to be expensive, though, guys? He's a cost-effective player. He makes $1.3 million this year and next. He's on a rental.
Yeah.
And he's solid defensively. He's so cheap.
I think it would be a mistake to do that if you're the Leafs, to acquire depth. In my eyes this year, you either go for a big fish, which I think is looking less and less likely, or you acquire exactly what you need, and that's it. Because the way the team has played most of this year, I'm a little skeptical of, even when we get to the playoffs, maybe they win a round again. But then if they start to do the same thing they did again, and maybe there's injuries, it just won't matter even if there are injuries.
I just think they need a center, man. They still need one.
Anthony Mantha is a center.
No, he's not.
Oh, I thought he was a center
now?
I thought he was a center. I could be incorrect. I was under the impression he could be a center. One thing I wanted to mention too, you brought up Ethan Bear. You brought him up. I think the ship has sailed, at least for the Leafs, because they had the chance to sign him. They didn't. He went to Washington, and he has 4 points this year.
He's not playing that great.
He's not playing great, and I know he might be an okay defensive option, but I think that ship has sailed.
I
for
think
the
that's a next year trade when he has a full training camp under his belt.
Yeah.
Gets his
You
game
got to
going.
give him some slack. Like he's had a little bit of injury troubles in the past.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, Darius, Anthony Mantha's a pure winger, man. Always has been.
Never mind.
So I think they need a center. As much as I love how good the Domi Bertuzzi Nylander line has been, I think you need if the ship on Tavares, the second line center, is sailed, you don't like his foot speed anymore. He doesn't. Well, I mean, like think about it, right? Tavares doesn't play in overtime anymore. He's on the first power play unit. He's on the top six. His role is diminished like crazy. So you're clearly looking for an option at second line center. I don't really think there's anyone available.
No,
But
not anymore.
you're looking at an Adam Henrique kind of player at that point. And
That'd
even
be a
then,
great pickup. Like I've
I
been
think he
looking
would
at
be.
Henry too.
I think he would be. He's just a little slow. You're like, what's the point at that point? But
You need a faster option there too.
yeah, I like. That's the reason that line has worked so well. Domi's quick, Bertuzzi's quick, Nylander's quick. It's been good enough. I think an Anthony Mantha TVR trade. There's something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know. And Darius, I like your point about not bringing in Nick Dowd as depth option. They have depth. I think the Leafs have enough depth.
This year especially, I think they're actually okay.
Ryan
Forward
Reeves
wise,
has looked. Dude, Ryan Reeves looked great.
So, yeah,
recently.
I
All
think
things
this
considered.
year more than any other year, the forwards are absolutely fine and they have the depth. It's 100% on the defense. What the hell is happening there?
You need someone to play with. Like you could get a number 4 or number 5 that can just play with Riley. They're an NHL defenseman. They did it with Luke Shen last year. It looked good. Fortunately, he made 2.5. You know, John Klingberg made a lot more. But hey, that's beyond us. But there's something to be had with the Leafs. But my thing is, let me ask you about this, Matt. Seems like Brad Treliving is always in on someone and never gets them. Do you think we'll see more of that this year with Treliving and the Leafs, or is there going to be a push from the top, from Shanahan, MLSC, all these guys to be like, Brad, let's do something, man. What do you think's going to happen?
I think the last time they went for like a big push, it ended up like blown up in their face, like the Nick Foligno move. Like they were trying to go for so much in that bubble year, and it turned into nothing. And I think they're a little more hesitant on this. Like unless it's like a surefire thing
Like
that
O'Reilly
yeah,
McCabe
like
last year, I'd say was
yeah,
yeah.
that was a surefire thing. Like they won't gamble. I think unless they know what they're getting, then no sense.
I think that first round pick is staying put.
Yeah.
So you'll
Yeah,
see.
like
what
their big deadline acquisition is Joe Wool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Nick your tweet, like Leafs
Nick,
trade
your tweet
deadline
went
is getting
viral, yeah.
getting their players back.
Yeah, the Leafs trade out is just like Bertuzzi playing normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what's been happening, man. At the end of the day, look, Matt Nyes has figured out his place on that first line. I think recently, especially, Matt Domi's playing good. I like Tavares in that diminished role. To be honest, I think once you get Yarkov back too, they're cooking a little.
Yep.
So, I think to wrap up this video, it'll be interesting with the Leafs too. If anything, I think they have to do something. Matt, I remember Ken Holland had a quote like a few years ago with the Oilers. So he was like, you can't go for it or trade your first round
Oh
pick
yeah,
every year.
you can't go all in every year.
But when you have these kind of players, you have to. Look what the Penguins did. Look what Tampa did. Look what Chicago did when they had
Like
these dynasties.
And
Who gives a
even
fuck? Who gives a fuck about a guy who's going to play in 3 years, right? You know?
Yeah.
So.
And like even Tampa, like somehow they're in trade talks for Noah Hannafin. I do not know how that's going down. But somehow Tampa, they seem to weasel their way into trade deadlines every year.
Right? With Sergachev out. So.
Now, who's the team that pulls like a Tanner Jeannot trade this year, just overpays? I could see a team overpaying for a guy, I don't know, like a Mantha. I could see like a Mantha or...
Yeah, good this year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been really good this year. Like Nick Dowd could be a guy. You know what I mean?
He could be. I was going to say Nick Dowd.
Scott Lawton, that could be another one. Where like I could see a guy,
could be.
someone paying a lot.
Or like Sean Walker.
Yeah,
like there's like a bunch of guys like Sean Walker, Alex Carrier. I'd love Alex Carrier.
Yeah,
like seeing all like his underlying numbers. Like get him beside Nurse.
Okay.
Kenny, please.
All right, we're getting off track here.
We are.
We're getting off
That's
track.
our specialty.
We'll see what the Leafs do. Darius, I think we're on the same page with Mantha. We'll see what happens. But the question is, guys, in the comments, what is Brad Treliving gonna do over the next week? We'll see if he does anything. But yeah, the Leafs gotta make a move here, man. I think so.
They have to make a move.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.